Hey everybody, it's Dan here on the Tea Guys. This week we're talking about saving up for surgery and how we did it or how we plan to do it. There's a couple things that I did in terms of getting my surgery. First of all, the first thing you should do is check with your insurance company to see if they do have a transgender exclusion or if they would be open to the idea of covering your surgery. The insurance company that I had was Capital District Physicians Health Plan in New York, which will cover trans surgeries. However, they have really strict like prior approval policies, and two of the things I had a problem with. One was that they required 2 letters from therapists, and the other requirement was that I be on testosterone for 12 months unless there was some medical reason I couldn't. So 12 months on testosterone would put me into July, and I really wanted to have surgery at the beginning of the summer because it was the time that I had open. I plan on being somewhere else in the fall, and I wouldn't have enough time between having surgery and healing and going, to move, because I want to, I can't even lift, something that's like 5 pounds yet. So it's only been 2 weeks post-op. Yeah, so I have my nipples still covered, but some of the steri strip is coming off, so looking good. Another thing is to consider is finding a surgeon close to you. If my insurance is going to pay for my surgery, I was going to go ahead and go out to San Francisco and see Brownstein because, he's the god of surgery, so I was going to go ahead and do that, but, plane tickets for me, my partner, and my mom would have been expensive, and then you have to find a place to stay, and I have no idea about anything in San Francisco. I've never been, so it would be a totally new place, trying to figure out where to go and everything. So that's something to take into consideration. Since I decided to go ahead and pay out of pocket and not wait for my insurance, I chose to see Dr. Garramone in Sunrise, Florida, because I live in Tallahassee. So it was about a 7 to 8 hour drive, and gas prices are way cheaper than flying, so I saved a lot of money that way. Also, there was a place down there that works with Garramone's office and gave me a discount on staying for the week, and so my hotel room was only like $350 for like the whole week, so that was a pretty good deal. And and then the last thing to consider if you're paying out of pocket is just what the surgeon's charging you. Dr. Garramone only charges $5,700 as opposed to, $7,000 or $8,000 that a lot of surgeons charge. And I think the results are really good. So, you have to balance, how cheap you want your surgery with how good the results are. And everybody has different, criteria for that. But I personally found that the money I was saving by going in-state was okay for the surgery I was getting, because I think I got really excellent care, and my scars came out really well, and my nipples are healing nicely, and I don't know if I would have gotten that much better of a result if I had gone to Brownstein. So, yeah, and then how I'm actually paying for it, because, even with all that stuff, $5,700 is a lot of money for me. Student loans. I just graduated, but before graduating, I took out an extra $6,000 in loans just in case my surgery wasn't going to be covered by insurance, so that was a really good idea. If you are a student, I strongly recommend that, even if you have to pay for it later on. If you can get subsidized loans, only take out 2 subsidized loans, over, a couple years, the interest will be paid by the government until you get out of school. So unsubsidized loans aren't as fun because you are racking up some interest while you're in school, but regardless, your interest is only going to be I think it can't go over 8 8%, and right now it's like 6 or so, 6.8, something like that. So, you know, if you put that on a credit card or something, it would easily cost you anywhere from 13 to 22% in interest. So, yeah, yay student loans. I mean, I already had a fuck ton of student loans to begin with, so adding an extra $6 grand wasn't really that big of a deal for me. It's like, you know, once your number's that high, it's not really a big difference, which was really sucky, but yeah, I just reconsolidated my student loans and entered into an income contingent payment plan, so even if in 25 years I don't pay the whole thing off, they forgive it. So y'all might want to check that out. Direct consolidation loans and the income contingent 25-year forgiveness thing. And if you like do stuff like being a teacher in public schools, or be a firefighter, or work in government and stuff like that, you can get your loans. Excuse me. You can get your loans forgiven in less time than that. The College Cost Reduction Act of 2007 made it possible so that if you work in a public service job, you only have to make 120 payments, and then they forgive it. So that could be as low as 10 years. So that's really beneficial, especially if you're not going to be making a lot of money. Yeah, so I also try to save as much money as possible. Like, I don't have cable, and that doesn't seem like a really big deal, but saving, you know, $50 a month will add up. I mean, I don't like skimp on groceries and stuff like that. Like, I eat really well, but I mean, I don't spend as much money on video games as I used to, and just like, you know, random things. I buy my clothes at Goodwill. I can usually find name brand stuff there, so it's not really, you know, that big of a deal. Yeah, I don't really shop in the mall because everything's so overpriced. Yeah, I try to do activities that don't cost money. You know, going to museums and walking outside and things like that. Try not to eat out as much, and yeah, like all those little things don't really seem like they add up to much, but they really do help in the long run. Because I've saved more money in the last 6 months trying to do those little things than I have in the past 6 years. So it definitely pays off if you go ahead and say, you know, this is my budget, this is how much extra money I have to spend each month, and this much money I'm putting in the bank. So yeah, it really does help. I also have a thing through my bank where, like, every time I use my debit card as a credit card, it puts a dollar in my savings. So that's like extra money that I forget I have. So yeah. I also have a couple $1,000s in a trust fund that my grandparents set up. But since I have the student loan money, I'm letting that ride. So hopefully it'll make money in the long term, and that'll be good. But yeah, other things I've heard of are people like throwing surgery benefit parties and stuff like that. I personally haven't done that. I don't know. I did do like a Facebook thing telling about my situation and like offering a PayPal link, but I mean, I don't really expect a lot of people to directly just give me money for surgery, because there's like a lot of people who need surgery. So I don't know, just my style isn't really just asking people for money. So some people have made like t-shirts and stuff like that on online websites to try to sell, and have made some money that way. I know there's this one guy on MySpace who does like pick modifications for like $5 or $10 towards a surgery fund. So I mean, if you have any sort of entrepreneurial spirit, you can come up with something to make some extra money. Also, look at options such as you know, lawn mowing, and like I don't know, focus groups, and like psychology experiments at like local universities and stuff. Anything that you can just, you know, do on the side to make extra cash that you don't have to report is always a good thing.